Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Patent advantages. An official document granting a right or privilege. A document granting an inventor sole rights to an invention. Grant rights to. Grant a patent for. Make open to sight or notice. His behavior has patented an embarrassing fact about him. Obtain a patent for. Should I patent this invention? Of a bodily tube or passageway, open, affording free passage. Patent ductus arteriosus. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. The effects of the drought are apparent to anyone who sees the parched fields. Appearing as such but not necessarily so. For all his apparent wealth he had no money to pay the rent. Capable of being seen or noticed. A clearly evident erasure in the manuscript. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Evident hostility. Provide evidence for, stand as proof of, show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. The buildings in Rome manifest a high level of architectural sophistication. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Manifest disapproval. A customs document listing the contents put on a ship or plane. Record in a ship's manifest. Each passenger must be manifested. Reveal its presence or make an appearance. The ghost manifests each year on the same day. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. A palpable lie. Capable of being perceived, especially capable of being handled or touched or felt. A barely palpable dust. Medicine, can be felt by palpation. A palpable tumor. So intense as to be almost touched or felt. There was a palpable sense of joy in the air. Not mixed with extraneous elements. Plain water. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. My mother complains all day. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Made his meaning plain. Free from any effort to soften to disguise. The plain and unvarnished truth. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. A plain hair style. Unmistakably, plain is often used informally for plainly. You are plainly wrong. Extensive tract of level open land. They emerged from the woods onto a vast open plain. Lacking patterns especially in color. Lacking in physical beauty or proportion. A plain girl with a freckled face. A basic knitting stitch made by putting the needle through the front of the stitch from the left-hand side. Not elaborate or elaborated, simple. Plain food. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Clearly evident to the mind. His opposition to slavery was unmistakable. An official document granting a right or privilege. A document granting an inventor sole rights to an invention. Easily perceived by the senses or grasped by the mind. Obvious errors. Free from impediment or obstruction or hindrance. An unobstructed view. Law. A document that states some contractual relationship or grants some right. Law. A document that states some contractual relationship or grants some right. Write an instrumental score for any of various devices or contrivances that can be used to produce musical tones or sounds. The means whereby some act is accomplished. My greed was the instrument of my destruction. A person used by another to gain an end. Law. A document that states some contractual relationship or grants some right. The semantic role of the entity, usually inanimate, that the agent uses to perform an action or start a process. Address a legal document to a device that requires skill for proper use. Equip with instruments for measuring, recording, or controlling. Law. A document that states some contractual relationship or grants some right. Writing that provides information, especially information of an official nature. Computer science. A computer file that contains text, and possibly formatting instructions, using 7-bit ASCII characters. Anything serving as a representation of a person's thinking by means of symbolic marks. A written account of ownership or obligation. Record in detail. The parents documented every step of their child's development. Support or supply with references. Can you document your claims? Writing that provides information, especially information of an official nature. Writing that provides information, especially information of an official nature. An official written record of names or events or transactions. A cash box with an adding machine to register transactions, used in shops to add up the bill. Indicate a certain reading of gauges and instruments. Record in a public office or in a court of law. Be aware of. Did you register any change when I pressed the button? Have one's name listed as a candidate for several parties. A book in which names and transactions are listed. An air passage, usually in the floor or a wall of a room, for admitting or excluding heated air from the room. A regulator, as a sliding plate, for regulating the flow of air into a furnace or other heating device. Computer science. Memory device that is the part of computer memory that has a specific address and that is used to hold information of a specific kind. Enroll to vote. Register for an election. Enter into someone's consciousness. Did this event register in your parents' minds? Manipulate the registers of an organ. Music. The timbre that is characteristic of a certain range and manner of production of the human voice or of different pipe organ stops or of different musical instruments. Record in writing. Enter into a book of names or events or transactions. Send by registered mail. I'd like to register this letter. Show in one's face. Her surprise did not register. Cause to change. Make different. Cause a transformation. Add a modifier to a constituent. Make less severe or harsh or extreme. Please modify this letter to make it more polite. Insert words into texts, often falsifying it thereby. Cause to change. Make different. Cause a transformation. The advent of the automobile may have altered the growth pattern of the city. Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Remove the ovaries of. Make an alteration to. This dress needs to be altered. Lay aside, abandon, or leave for another. The car changed lanes. Cause to change, make different, cause a transformation. The discussion has changed my thinking about the issue. Exchange or replace with another, usually of the same kind or category. He changed his name. An event that occurs when something passes from one state or phase to another. The change was intended to increase sales. Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Her mood changes in accordance with the weather. Give to, and receive from, one another. Would you change places with me? Become deeper in tone. His voice began to change when he was 12 years old. Change from one vehicle or transportation line to another. She changed in Chicago on her way to the East Coast. A difference that is usually pleasant. It is a refreshing change to meet a woman mechanic. A different or fresh set of clothes. She brought a change in her overnight bag. A relational difference between states, especially between states before and after some event. He attributed the change to their marriage. A thing that is different. He inspected several changes before selecting one. Change clothes. Put on different clothes. Coins of small denomination regarded collectively. He had a pocketful of change. Money received in return for its equivalent in a larger denomination or a different currency. He got change for a 20 and used it to pay the taxi driver. Remove or replace the coverings of. Father had to learn how to change the baby. The action of changing something. The change of government had no impact on the economy. The balance of money received when the amount you tender is greater than the amount due. I paid with a 20 and pocketed the change. The result of alteration or modification. There were marked changes in the lining of the lungs. Undergo a change. Become different in essence, losing one's or its original nature. She changed completely as she grew older. Immune to attack. Incapable of being tampered with. A secure telephone connection. Fill or close tightly with or as if with a plug. Make certain of. Furnish with battens. Financially safe. A secure investment. Get by special effort. Cause to be firmly attached. Free from fear or doubt. Easy in mind. He was secure that nothing will be held against him. A sure payment of. Free from danger or risk. Secure from harm. Not likely to fail or give way. The lock was secure. Arrange for sexual partners for others. Get by special effort. He procured extra cigarettes even though they were rationed. The learned profession that is mastered by graduate study in a law school and that is responsible for the judicial system. He studied law at Yale. A rule or body of rules of conduct inherent in human nature and essential to or binding upon human society. The collection of rules imposed by authority. Civilization presupposes respect for the law. The force of policemen and officers. The law came looking for him. The branch of philosophy concerned with the law and the principles that lead courts to make the decisions they do. A generalization that describes recurring facts or events in nature. The laws of thermodynamics. Legal document setting forth rules governing a particular kind of activity. There is a law against kidnapping. The collection of rules imposed by authority. The great problem for jurisprudence to allow freedom while enforcing order. The branch of philosophy concerned with the law and the principles that lead courts to make the decisions they do.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.